Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Yogeshwar Prabhu, for your kind words. Hare Krishna. So it's our great pleasure and honor to be here amongst you all. It's always a joy to be in the association of devotees, and I'm grateful to Yogeshwar Prabhu to organize this evening satsang program. So this evening we'll discuss about the topic that has been given to us is the importance of sadhana, the importance of chanting the holy names. We will discuss words from Chanting, we'll recite. Before that, we will begin by Mangalacharana prayers. Together we'll do Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnana-Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Vishram Sahitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dharmayam Dharami Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Guru Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sahajam Sadhanam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Balaram Sadhanamita Shri Vishakhamritamsya He Krishna Guruna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Bhakti-kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubhevasha Paritanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you all very much for coming this evening and giving us an opportunity to share something with you. Srila Prabhupada was at the airport, and the devotees, they brought him some sandesh. Prabhupada would love Bengali sweets, and especially sandesh. So the devotee said, Prabhupada, here is sandesh, the Bengali sweet. And Prabhupada was very happy to receive it. Another devotee came and said, Prabhupada, we have just translated your Chaitanya Charitamrita into German in another some European languages. And Prabhupada immediately held that Chaitanya Charitamrita. He totally forgot Sandesh. And he said, this is real Bengali sweet. Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Prabhupada started teaching Chaitanya Charitamrita to the devotees way back in 1966 when he just formed ISKCON. He started giving Chaitanya Charitamrita classes while he was teaching Bhagavad Gita. Parallelly, just after some time, within 1 year of starting ISKCON, Prabhupada was teaching to the devotees the teaching of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami. There are classes recorded. So, Lord Chaitanya's teachings, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it constitutes very foundational teachings and very sweet in nature. So, I would like you all to experience the sweetness of Chaitanya Charitamrita this evening. We'll recite this verse, and I would like you to memorize this verse by heart. It's like we recite in Bhagavatam classes. We recite a verse and then we recite. So this verse is displayed, but after few recitation we'll put the display off. And then you recite from your memory. And in many of the schools, in our Gopal Garden school, we were recently in Bangladesh, there were kids, pre-primary school, so kids of second standard, third standards. Within a minute or two, they memorized the verse very fast, 3 or 4 recitations. So these verses are very sweet and also very simple to memorize. We'll try this evening. It's possible. So this verse talks of the 5 main angas, the 5 main limbs of devotional service, the 5 core items of bhakti. Please repeat behind me. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana. Mathura Vas Shri Murtira Shabdhaye Sivana. Mathura Vas Shri Murtira Shabdhaye Sivana. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana. Mathura Vas Shri Murtira Shabdhaye Sivana. Mathura Vas Shri Murtira Shabdhaye Sivana. So the 5 items of devotional service, 5 main limbs of bhakti. Sadhu Sang, it begins with the association of devotees, that is Sadhu Sang. And when we come to the association of devotees, the first thing is Kirtan. Whenever we come together, we do the Kirtan. So Sadhu Sang, Nam Kirtan, chanting of the Lord's name. And after Kirtan is a class. Right? We assemble, there is a Kirtan in the beginning. In the association is a Kirtan. What follows next is Bhagavashram. So the very sequential, logical. Sadhu Sang, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavashravan. Whenever we come together, it's described that place becomes a holy place. Mathura Vas, here means Braj Vas. In the scriptures, the Braj Mandal is referred to as Mathura Mandal also. So all the Puranas, even before Krishna's appearance, the Purana described the Braj Bhumi as Mathura Mandal. So here Mathura Vas is same as Braj Vas. To reside in a holy place, holy Dham. So when we come together, chant the names, discuss Bhagavatam, that place becomes the holy place, holy Dham. And of course, another important limb which makes any place as holy or a Dham is Shri Murti Shraddha Sevan. Shri Murti is Lord's deity form, Lord's Archavikram. Let's recite the next verse. We will come back to this recitation. Can we scroll from page down? Yeah, okay. Next verse. Oh, yeah, it's online. Yeah, right. Okay. Let's recite the previous verse till we get the next verse. Okay, yes. We'll go back to we'll recite the original verse, but I just want to say the description of those 5 limbs. Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Pancha Anga. Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Pancha Anga. Krishna Prema Janmai Panchira Alpa Sangha. Krishna Prema Janmai Panchira Alpa Sangha. So Sakala Sadhana Shrestha, of all the sadhana, of all the practice of bhakti, Shresth, these 5 limbs which we just recited are Shresth, they are the foremost. Sakala Sadhana Shresth, Ei Panchang, these 5 limbs. Krishna Prema Janmai, Ei Panchera Alpasam, a slight touch of these 5 leads to the ultimate perfection of development of love for Krishna. So this is the description. What is the power? What is the speciality of those 5 limbs of bhakti, which we just recited? Now we can go back to those 5. Prabhu? Okay, we will begin the recitation. Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Mathura Vas Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana Mathura Vas Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Mathura Vas Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana Mathura Vas Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Mathura Vas Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana Mathura Vas Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana. Okay, remember we have to memorize this, at least try to recite by heart. Okay, so we can have few recitations by looking at the words. So, anyone who would like to recite, please raise your hand. By looking at the words. Yes, please. Reciter will recite behind you. Whoever is reciting, please lead the recitation and try to sing the recitation. Yes.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Shravana
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan
Bhagavat Shravana Mathura Vasa Shrimurtite Shraddhaye Sevana
Mathura Vasa Shrimurtite Shraddhaye Sevana. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yeah, some more recitations. Yes, Prabhu.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana
Mathura Vasa Shrimurtira Shraddhaya Sevana
Mathura Vasa Shrimurtira Shraddhaya Sevana. Hare Krishna, thank you. Yes, and have few more devotees recite. Yes, little loudly.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Shravana
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana
Mathura Vas Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana
Mathura Vas Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana. Please remember, association of devotees, sadhu sang, in that starts with Dham Kirtan, then we hear Bhagavad Shravan. That wherever we come together and do this, that place becomes Mathura Vas, residing in a holy place. And also, wherever there are deities being served, that is also a holy place. Shri Murti Shraddhaya Seva. Faithfully, Shraddhaya Seva. Yes, we can have few more recitation and then we'll recite from the memory. Yes, sir.
साधु संग नाम कीर्तन भागवत श्रवण
साधु संग नाम कीर्तन भागवत श्रवण
मथुरा वा श्रीमूर्तिर श्रद्धाय सेवन
मथुरा वा श्रीमूर्तिर श्रद्धाय सेवन. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, there's someone who raised hand this side and then there. Someone raised hand here. Okay, yes, please.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Shravana
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana
Mathura Vasa Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana
Mathura Vasa Shrimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana. Hare Krishna, thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana
Mathura Srimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana
Mathura Srimurtira Shraddhaye Sevana. Hare Krishna. Okay, so now can we have someone who will recite with eyes closed? Or we can put the display off. Can someone help me? We can actually remove the laptop now. We don't need for the time being. So they should put the display on? No. Should be. Okay. Okay, fine. But we don't want this blue light also here. So, yeah, we do not need the. For the time being, we do not need. We can put it off. Yes.
Depend on Krishna.
Prabhu is saying now we depend on Krishna. To recite the verse. Okay, we have Prabhu who just recited to begin with. Yes.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathuravas Sri Murtira
Yeah, good. Even if there is some little bit here and there, they will be able to help you. You have a lot of help here. You don't have to worry about that. Yes, take the courage to begin.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathuravas Sri Murtira Shadaya Sevana
We should not be minors in giving appreciation. Very good. Should be generous in appreciating others. Hare Krishna. Yes, please. Yeah, begin with. Yes, yeah, recite now.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtanam Bhagavata Sevanam
Sadhu Sangha Kirtan
Mathura Vasaram Murti Shri Murtire Shraddhaya Sevanam
Mathura Vasaram See, this is a so sweet and simple. Like Bhagavad Shravan, because in Bhagavad 7 also, it's actually right. Right? So, few words here and there also makes the perfect meaning. Okay, yes, please.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathuravasa Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
Very melodious recitation. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes, few more devotees you can have. Those who have not recited till now. Yes, yes, please.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Shravana
Sadhu
Mathuravasa Sri Murtira
Hare Krishna. Okay, with one or two more recitations. Yes. Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana Krishna sees the attempt. Thank you for that good attempt. Hare Krishna. Okay, the last recitation. Yes, please.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana
Sadhu Sangha
Mathuravas Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevanam
Mathuravasa Thank you. So, I'll briefly discuss about this file, and then Radha Gopinath Prabhu will elaborately discuss about it. Please remember the next verse says, Sakala sadhana shreshthare pancha anga Krishna prema janmai panchira kalpa sangha. That of all the limbs of bhakti, these five are the foremost, and just a slight contact with them leads to development of love for Krishna. So we'll begin with the sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha. The sadhus or the devotees are also called sat. Sat. The sat word used, the Lord is Satvatam Patihi, Bhagavatam described. So the devotees, those sat means true, sat means eternal. Because the devotees, they pursue the path of truth, the devotees are also called sat. And therefore the association of devotees is also called satsang. The word satsang itself means that we are going in association of devotees. So sadhusang or satsang are like synonymous words. Lord Chaitanya, he asks several questions to Raman Rai. This is in Madhya Leela chapter 8. One of the questions he asks is, Shreya Madhya Shreya Jivira Hoisa. Lord Chaitanya says, of all the merits one can have, of all the benefits one can avail, what is the highest merit? What is the biggest benefit one can have? Just like so many people advertise, you buy this two shirts, you get one free for it. Buy one get one free, something like that. There is a benefit in this shopping, or you invest here, take this credit card and you get 15% discount. The Amazon advertise, you install the Amazon app and you save 50%. If someone wrote, you uninstall the Amazon app, you save 100%. So, benefit, there are so many benefits. We have so many promises of so many benefits. What is the highest benefit we can have? Shreya Madhya Shreya Jivera Hoisar. Of all the benefits, of all the merits, what is the highest asar, essence? Ramanand Rai replies to Lord Chaitanya, Krishna Bhakta Sangha Vina Shreya Nahi. I do not see any greater benefit than the association of devotees. So therefore, that we have come to the association of devotees actually is the highest attainment. Yesterday we were meeting some devotees. He said when we came here, we met the devotees, and that's the biggest lottery of our life, actually, the highest merit. We have come in the association of devotees. We have never experienced such warmth, such loving reciprocation, such loving dealings, such sweetness as in the association of devotees. So therefore it is one of the highest merit, it is one of the sweetest things that we have obtained. We just need to appreciate it more and more. The more we are grateful for what we have attained, the more we should advance. There was a person, he had never seen gold in life. So, he came to the king, and the king used to have his darbar and so on, and this person expressed, I have a desire to see gold. King said, okay, come, and take you to my treasury and show you gold. So the ministers of the king, they took him through a path, through a staircase, hallway, and they showed him the gold. And when he saw the gold, he realized that actually the stairs were also made of the same metal. In the hallway also there were, many decorations made of gold. Because in the palace, many things studded with gold. So he had not seen, but all along he was seeing the gold, but now he realized it. With bhakti, we actually get the highest merit, but it takes time for us to realize it. So the more we realize, by hearing the value of what we have obtained, the more we are grateful, the more we actually advance, more we come closer to Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya says, or Lord Chaitanya asked, and Damodar replies that this is one of the highest merit we can obtain in this human form of life. The satsang, sadhusang. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has given a very beautiful understanding of association of devotees. What do we mean by association? He says association means to accept. If we are coming, so association doesn't just mean physical association, we come together. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and the most spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, he says association means to accept. What? To accept the inspiration from the association and to accept the opportunity to serve. These two things. So if we are coming association but we are not, accepting, we are not accepting the inspiration that is available. That means you have to accept it, you have to imbibe it, you have to live by it. Bhagavatam also describes Shrananti, Gayanti, Grananti. Grananti means we hear, we chant in the association and then we accept it within our heart. That means we bring some change in our life. To accept means we bring some transformation in our life. So association means we accept something. Unless we accept the inspiration, the spiritual values available in the association, we are not in the association. We are not able to accept that. And second thing, to be accepted is the opportunity to serve. So when we serve, we are the beneficiaries actually. We should have that faith. The opportunity to serve, we are the beneficiaries. We are benefiting ourselves the most by doing seva. Sometimes we say, please give your service here. But actually, we are the gainers. By giving service, we are actually accepting that great opportunity and we are the gainers. Therefore, we have to accept that. So that's the meaning of association. Sadhusang. After sadhusang is Nam Kirtan. So after each item, we'll recite the main verse. Sadhusang Nam Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Mathura Tera Shraddhaya Sevana. So after sadhusang is Nam Kirtan, and the beautiful verse which describes the glory of Nam Sankirtan. Madhuram Madhurebhyopi Mangalebhyopi Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi Hare Namevu Kevalam. So Madhuram Madhurebhyopi, the chanting of the Lord's name is the sweetest of all. The sweetest, it is the swiftest process, it is the safest and the surest. So this one verse actually describes the four qualities. One devotee recently describing that he heard from Radha Gopinath Prabhu, I heard from someone else. So this verse describes the holy name of the Lord is the sweetest, the swiftest, the safest and the surest path to spiritual perfection. So Madhuram Madhurebhyopi is the sweetest. Mangalebhyopi Mangalam is very auspicious because it gives us fast spiritual progress, swiftest process. And Prabhupada said in one lifetime by chanting the holy names we can perfect our life. And Pavanam Pavanebhyopi is the safest, it purifies the heart. Okay? So we have the safest process. Hare Nam Eva Kevalam. Eva means suddenly, so it is the surest path. So chanting the holy name of the Lord is the sweetest, swiftest, safest and the surest path to spiritual perfection. But one important aspect about chanting the Lord's name is, as Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Have you all heard that statement? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. There are two understandings of this statement. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy, and we will be ultimately happy. We will be ultimately happy, but in the process, be happy means we chant Hare Krishna and be happy with whatever Krishna sends to us. In loss or profit, in success or failure, in good health or bad health. Be happy with whatever Krishna arranges. Accept that as the best situation for yourself. Be happy knowing that Krishna is in control and He is our well-wisher. Krishna is our best well-wishing friend. So that faith needs to be exhibited in the process. Hare Krishna. So check. Hare Krishna. So chant Hare Krishna and be happy with whatever comes by Lord's arrangement, whatever situation comes. Again, there is one verse in CC which describes Sadhana malai bayat labite santosh Eito ajar kare bhakti dharma kosh. Always chant the holy name, yet labite santosh means be satisfied with whatever situation comes by Krishna arrangement. And Prabhupada writes, this attitude solidly maintains one devotional service. This attitude. Being always having the faith that whatever is the situation is the Lord's mercy, Tattva compound, is your mercy. Whatever is coming is also your mercy. We may not realize now, but if we have faith, we will be able to realize it. So therefore one has to chant with this attitude, accepting all situations as Lord's mercy. So Hidurina Mauli Swami Maharaj, he was giving one class in Radha Gopinath temple, and he said, after Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the most important mantra for the devotee is Pratyam Kampam Sumikshamana. That means, my Lord, everything coming in my life is your mercy. Which is very difficult to accept. But we have to practice. We have to practice with devotees. We have to practice. So try to practice it. The more we practice, the more we shall advance. So that is chanting the Lord's name. We have to chant while having this faith and this attitude. And when we do that, this solidly maintains our devotional service. This attitude is very important in our course of practice. The third aspect, Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Mudrava Shrimutira Shraddhaya Sevana. So Bhagavad Shravan, and Srila Prabhupada has instituted Bhagavad Shravan, Nitya Bhagavad Sevya, as Srimad Bhagavatam recommends. Daily we should have Bhagavatam Shravan. In fact, in the Navavida Bhakti, it begins with Shravanam Kirtanam. And Prabhupada says, Nam Kirtan is the most important process, but before that, without Shravanam, there cannot be effective Nam Kirtan. Without Shravanam, without hearing, we will not have sufficient inspiration for Nam Kirtan. Therefore, Shravanam is the first and the foremost process. And therefore, all the Vedic literature, they are called Shruti. Shruti means to be accepted by hearing, Shravan. The word Shruti and Shravan are synonymous. So because the Vedas are to be learned by hearing, therefore they are called Shrutis. So the Shravan has to precede the Kirtana. So Bhagavatam Shravan. If you see in this verse, Sadhu Sang, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan. The devotees are also called Bhagavatas. And there are two Bhagavatas, and the Nam Kirtan is placed between the two Bhagavatas. Sadhu Sang, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan. The Bhagavatam is to be heard, the book Bhagavad is to be heard in the expression of devotees, or from a devotee Bhagavad. And these two Bhagavatas will give us a sufficient inspiration for Nam Sankirtan. You see, the Nam Kirtan is placed between Sadhu Sang and Bhagavad Shravan. That means between the two Bhagavatas. Therefore, in the association, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam will actually give us inspiration for Nam Kirtan. Therefore, we can't miss out on those two. So that's the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, our Acharyas have described, Lord Chaitanya has described, Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna himself. Just like Krishna appears, when he appears among the aquatics, he comes as the fish, the mean avatar, Matsya avatar. Among the animals, Lord comes as the boar. And when half man, half lion, he comes as Lord Nrsimhadev. He comes as a swan also. When the Lord comes in the book form, his Granth avatar, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. So he is like a Granth avatar. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna, and in that mode we do Bhagavad Shravan, and that gives us a lot of spiritual inspiration. And we learn the glories of Nam Sankirtan also from Bhagavatam Shravan. Wherever we come together, we hear chant, and we said that place is the holy place, Mathura Vas. So although we can go, now we are at the fourth stage, we will on the fourth point of our discussion. We will recite the verse. Sadhu Sangha Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Mathura Vas Shrimutira Shadhaya Sevana. So yes, we all go to holy places, Mathura Vas, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, and that's very good. But we can always reside in a holy place by coming together, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, by chanting the Lord's names. Hari Sadavase Tatra Yatra Bhagavad Jana Gayanti Bhakti Bhavena Harinameva Kevalam. So the Lord is surely present where the devotees come together and with devotion chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so Mathura Vas, we should always reside in a holy place by chanting the Lord's name, by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. And the last is Shrimurtir Shraddhaye Sevan. We serve the deities of the Lord with great faith. What kind of Shraddha? That is also described in one beautiful verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita, where in this episode, chapter 5th in Bhagavad the story of Sakshi Gopal, the younger Brahmana and the older Brahmana, and when the younger Brahmana tells Pratimanahami Sakshat Brajendra Nandana, he says, my Lord, you are not Pratima, you are not just Murti, you are directly the son of Nanda Maharaj. You are directly the son of Nanda Maharaj. So, Shraddha is Yaman. We have, with faith, we serve the Lord, with this faith, the Lord will reciprocate with you, Krishna will reciprocate with you. So some people used to say, we have broken your God. For them, Krishna is stone for them. For those who serve, for them, Krishna is there as the Supreme Lord Himself. So the Lord is inconceivable. For those who are faithless, those who think we can take the Lord, we can break the deity from the Lord, for them the Lord is like a stone. Because He Dham prapadyante. The Lord reciprocates as we approach Him. But for the devotees, He is present there as Supreme Lord Himself. And Prabhupada says His reciprocation is an established fact. In Juhu, the same tailor is stitching the dresses for last more than 40 years. And he has noticed that the waist of Ras Bihari has increased. Because an opulent bhoga has been offered to him. Right? The earlier dresses would not fit in. Right? So the Lord is there. Once Prabhupada came to a place and he looked at the deities and he said, the deities look tired. What time are you putting them to rest? What time are you waking them up? And the devotee said, we are doing, the marathon is going on, and we come back at 1 o'clock, then we chant our rounds, we do Mangal Aarti at 3, and then we sleep. So we adjust the Mangal Aarti time, so that we can chant, and then we do Mangal Aarti, we don't miss Mangal Aarti, and then we sleep. So he said, you have to adjust yourself as per the Lord. Lord should not adjust himself as per your time schedule. And but Prabhupada could see that the Lord looks tired. Shri Murti Vishradhaya Sevan. So, the most important point here is Sakala Sadhana Shreshth Ei Panch Anu. These 5 are very important forms of devotional service. Krishna Prema Janmaya Ei Panchera Alpasam. If you just put a little effort in this 5, a small effort, it will make so much difference to your spiritual life. Please put little more effort. Try to chant the Lord's names in the morning. If you are able to chant now, say you are able to chant 3 or 4 rounds in the morning now, or 8 rounds. Make it increase 1 round, which you can chant in the morning. Alpa. Make a small effort. Take a small effort to daily hear something about Srimad Bhagavatam. Do not miss a single day. Once I was staying in one place, in one of the students' base, and we were reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. One person, the neighbor, came and he said, oh, you are reciting something, reading something? I said, yes, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, do you read it daily? I said, yes. He said, for how many years? I said, since we started this voice for the last 2.5 years. He said, I read economics time, I have been reading for 25 years without missing a single day. I said, amazing! We need your blessings to read Bhagavatam every day. So, you read a business paper without missing a single day for 1 hour. It's like 1 hour Bhagavatam class. So very religiously you would read economics times for daily 1 hour without missing a single day. So that kind of consistency people have. So we can have alpasam, we can at least 10 minutes a day, we can either read or hear Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita Chittaranjana. And Bhagavad Shravan would include, that's always Bhagavad Shravan. Bhagavad Shravan means the Katha of Bhagavan, which is there in Chittaranjana, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. This is not Bhagavad Shravan. So take out 10 minutes and you see how much that alpasam, that small effort in your part, will give exponential returns of God's mercy. So sadhu Nam Kirtan, come to association as much as possible. Put a little effort to increase your Nam Sankirtan, the quality, the best qualities in the morning. We were in Bangladesh just before coming, and we landed, and we asked how much time it will take to reach temple. This temple is 20 kilometers, it will take 3 hours to reach the temple. 3 hours, 20 kilometers, because of city traffic. And he said, my God, we have a morning flight. We can't leave so early, maybe we'll stay close to the airport. He said, don't worry, morning 30 minutes. So during the day, when there is peak traffic, 3 hours, and the morning time we reach in 30 minutes. Similarly, the same distance. So the same rounds in the morning are very swift. During the day, there is a lot of traffic, of anxieties. There's so many things to do, right? In that huge traffic, our sadhana crawls and we struggle so much. It can be so swift in the morning. Therefore, just try to take out some time in the morning. And alpa means a small effort. When we make a small effort, the reciprocation is exponential. We experience it. So therefore, chanting in the morning, daily 10 minutes of Srimad Bhagavatam, service to the deities, and in this way we recite. In this way we can create an atmosphere of Dham, the holy place, and make tremendous spiritual progress. Recite the words. Sadhu Sankana Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana Matra Vashu Tira Shadaya Sevana. So these are 5 very important limbs of sadhana bhakti, and a small effort in any of these, all of this, in all of this, a small effort will give exponential results and a lot of Lord's mercy. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, and I would like to request Mr. Radha Gopinath Prabhu to please elaborate on any of it all.
As Damodar Prabhu was asking all of you to recite the verse by memory, I had 2 realizations. First is, the next time you ask one of your school-going children to memorize 8 verses poem, and if they kind of stumble, hopefully you will be more tolerant. And also I was watching that someone was sincerely trying to kind of chant. The whole class was supporting him. Practically everyone was supporting and reciting. That's the power of association. Antakale chamameva smaran muktva karevaram. If somehow we are fortunate enough to be in the association of sincere devotees throughout our life, even at the time of our departing from this world, as they say, life is the preparation, death is the examination. So in that examination there will be someone reminding us, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Damodar Prabhu spoke about this 5 powerful ingredients, which is the essence of, actually 64 items of this, these are like the essence, 5 essential ingredients. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, before Lord Chaitanya actually manifested the purpose of his descent, Lord Krishna, he went to Bangladesh, East Bengal at that time. And there was a scholar, a great scholar, whose name was Tapan Mishra. And he had read practically all the commentaries of every scholar of every scripture. And the more he read, the more he got confused. Because different people spoke about different goals and different means to achieve it. And one day, really frustrated, and he had a dream. Tomorrow you can meet this young Brahmana who has come to East Bengal. You will get your answer. Please go and meet him. Utata Mishra came and offered his respects to Nimai Pandit and asked a question. And Nimai Pandit answered him. And this was even before he actually manifested. He told him, बहु शास्त्रे बहु वाक्ये चित्ते भ्रम होय साध्य साधना श्रेष्ठ ना होय निश्चय. If you read too many books, too many commentaries by too many kinds of scholars and different types of followers of different philosophies, what happens is Bahu Shastre, too many scriptures, Bahu Vakye, too many commentaries. The end result is Chitte Brahma, will be totally bewildered. And two things will never be established. The Sadhya, what is the goal of life? Nasam Muniriyasya Matam Na Bhinnam. There are so many people who say the goal of life is to just merge into God and realize that you are God. You know? Ghataakash, Patakash. Somebody says, no, there is no God. So there are so many different perspectives. So he said, Sadhya, what is the ultimate goal and what is the best means to achieve it? Sadhana, Sreshtha, the highest goal and the best and the easiest, as pointed out, the sweetest, the shortest, the safest process to actually achieve it will never be attained. And that is described by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Pancham Purushartha. Purusha Artha, what is the value of life? Dharmartha, Kama, Moksha. But actually, Bhagavatam kicks out and establishes pure love for Krishna. That's the ultimate goal. Krishna Prema Janmai. It has to, actually the love of God is dormant in everyone's heart. It's there already. It's not to be installed from outside. It's already there. It should be realized. That's all. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Gavanai. It's already there in the heart. It's not to be achieved. It just has to be realized. Uncovered rather. And this process, as recommended by Rupa Goswami, and after elaborating on 64 items of the sadhana, first of all, we have to be convinced in the core of our heart as to what is the goal. The reason why we are not so strong in our sadhana, sadhya is the goal to be achieved, and sadhan or sadhana is the process to achieve that sadhya. To the extent we are really not convinced about the sadhya, to that extent our sadhana will not be intense. Unless till there is a doubt, there will be no impetus. Once we were traveling to one program and it was a rainy night and there was a driver, expert driver who was driving and I was sitting next to him. And we were supposed to go and give a talk there. It was very heavy rains. And we came to a, what do you call it? a divider where there are two, roads, crossroads. There are two roads like that. And there was no road sign, no indicator which goes to that place. And he asked me, he said, "Ready?" I said, "What do you think?" "I don't know. We have 10 minutes and we have to go at least 5 kilometers, heavy rains. And road is also not like Melbourne." So I said, "If you don't mind, I'll tell you a suggestion." "Yeah. Toss a coin." He said, "That is gambling." I said, "Okay, all the best, choose it." Okay, we'll toss a coin. Come on, toss a coin. I said, "Heads we go this way and tails we go this way." So we tossed it. Heads, we go this way. And we went. Even though he was an extremely efficient driver, and road was clear, even though there was rain, he just couldn't drive fast because he wasn't sure. What if I'm going in the wrong direction? The farther I go, the longer it will take back. So however he had a desire to reach fast, because of that doubt, he just couldn't go fast. And we went almost like 2 kilometers. Then there was a tree and one man was sitting underneath and I said, Vasai, kidhar? I said, "Vasai, where is this place?" "Ek kaam karo, 2 kilometers you go back and take another turn." And then he reached in just 2 minutes. Because he was very clear, I'm on the right track. And we learned the lesson, the cost of gambling. So, sadhya, to the extent, utsahat nishchayat, when there is conviction in the heart that this is the ultimate goal of life, no doubt about it. In the vehicle of bhakti, doubt is like the brake and faith is like the accelerator. Imagine pressing both of them. There will be sound, but the vehicle won't go forward. So one has to release that. Agyascha ashraddhadhanascha samshayatma vinashyati. Remove that brake of doubt. Press on the accelerator of deep conviction. So, if sadhana is clear, vyavasayatmika buddhi eke pranamata, focused person, such a person will be very enthusiastic to take up the process of sadhana. So, these 5 items, sadhu sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Mathuravasa, Srimurtira Shraddhaya Seva. Sakala Sadhana Sreshtha, A Panchanga. Of all the 64 items executed by the mind, the body and the words, A Pancha Anga, these are like the most important, extremely powerful. And Krishna Prema Janmaya, it can awaken the dormant love of God in the heart. The Panchara Alpasanga. Even a small fraction of these 5 powerful processes can awaken that love. Thanks to Nityananda Priya Prabhu, I heard that a lot of people have heard that science of self-realization series of talks, which is actually originally given by Radha Swami Maharaj. I added some masala, some kind of examples from my life, but basically that is a very good introductory foundation kind of a course for Bhagavad Gita. At the conclusion of it, I generally used to say that if you have not heard any of these 6 lectures attentively, don't worry. The take back message for you is just remember 4 letters. A, B, C and D. I bet all of you can remember these 4 letters better than the words that was taught to you. Can anyone repeat this? A, B, C, D. Anyone not repeat it? It's so simple. And I was thinking, this is A, B, C, double D. Sadhu Sangha, association of sincere devotees. B is books of transcendental knowledge, headed by Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavat Shravan. C is chanting of the holy name, Nama Kirtan. And D is deity worship and a diet of Krishna Prasad after offering the food. And if you do this, you have a 5th D, that is Dham Nivas. Wherever you reside, that place will become the abode of the Lord. Today, this particular hall has been transformed into Durga. There is no doubt about it by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavad says, Nayatra Vaikuntha Katha Sudhapada Nasadhavo Bhagavatas Tadashraya Nayatra Yagyesha Makha Mahotsava Suresha Lokopinavai Sasevyata. A beautiful verse. Where should one choose to reside? Always. He said, so this devotee is saying, I will not reside in some places. Even if it is Suresha Lokopi. Suresha means Indra. Imagine Indra Loka, Nandankanan forest, billions of times better than the best place in Denmark that can provide. But he says, Nayatra Vaikuntha Katha Sudhapada. Nayatra, where Vaikuntha, the abode of the Lord, or the Lord's another name is Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha Katha Sudha. Sudha means nectar. Krishna Kathamrita. The place where constant nectar, apada means the river, the nectarian river of the glories of the name, the form, the qualities, the pastimes, does not flow. Constant river does not flow. Nayatra Bhagavata Tadashraya. Wherever a pure, crystal clear river flows, naturally all kinds of birds reside there. Similarly, wherever such kind of pastimes are constantly happening, the devotees want to come somewhere nearby and reside there, so that they can easily access the nectar, because people are thirsty. Everyone is thirsty. The nature of the soul, the need of the soul is to love and be loved. And we want unlimited love, eternal love. And that love can be provided only by one personality, the reservoir of pleasure, that is Krishna. And therefore, the Saragrahi Vaishnavas, the essence seekers, the nectar seekers Vaishnavas, they want to just reside. They want to leave another place and come and settle down at a place where the river is constantly flowing. Sadhu Bhagavata Tada Ashraya. Nayatra Yagyesha Makha Mahotsava, where there is a constant festival of Yagyesha, the glorification of the Aham hi yajna sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha. Bhoktaram yajnatapasma. The Lord is actually the enjoyer of all the sacrifice. So where the festivals to glorify His activities are not happening, Suresha Lokopi, even if it's heavenly place, I don't know who is right there. So truly where these four things are happening, there is sincere association of sincere devotees. There is constant study of the books of transcendental knowledge, chanting of the glories of the Lord, the holy name of the Lord, and the form of the Lord is being worshipped. And everyone is, Yajnashishtasanasanto muchanti sarvaki mishe. Everyone is accepting offerings. So, we have already heard, but since he ordered me to elaborate, I'll just speak a few words on these four extremely potent forms of sadhana. Sadhu Sangha, the association of sincere devotees. Now we may say, where are the pure devotees? But really, anyone, actually, Jiva Goswami tells who is a devotee. If someone says, does really God exist, he is a devotee. Why? Because 50% he doubts God exists and 50% maybe he doesn't. So 50% faith he has. So therefore he is a devotee. And the day it becomes 51, he is a Vaishnava. Because Adav Shraddha. Hoga yaar, hoga. There's more of his presence, conviction than doubt. That's the question. So, such wonderful association of sincere devotees. And thanks to Srila Prabhupada, all over the world, wherever you go. I was in Moscow a few years back. Some of them just don't understand any other language. And I totally don't understand their language. Absolutely nothing. First time I realized, because I'm a speech therapist, a hearing impaired person who can't hear, profound deafness, tone deafness. This is how you see. Imagine all of you are sitting, in case your ears are not hearing. For all this time, this is what you see. This is what it is for them. And actually, even though I was hearing, it was the same for me. They are talking, enjoying, and I'm like, should I laugh? Should I cry? But one thing everyone, Hare Krishna, that is one thing everyone. And then of course we also knew, Prasad. So these were some common things. So, it's so fortunate that wherever on this planet we go, by the influence of one pure devotee of the Lord, sincere desire, one time Srila Prabhupada told Bhurijan Prabhu, I want to make the whole universe Krishna conscious. He was encouraging them, said, why are you saying that there is no devotion service? As long as there is one rascal who will not become a devotee, there is scope for me. There is seva to preach. So, that is the association of sincere devotees. How fortunate, wherever we are. And then there is Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan. The same Chaitanya Bhagavat, since Sangha Karnam, because Damodar Prabhu sitting next to me, I am only getting Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita examples. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat there is a beautiful description of the power of congregational chanting, whether we know it or not, whether we understand it or not, whether we believe it or not, whether we accept it or not, the fact is, when sincere devotees come together, raise their hands, the Swami step, and start dancing to the holy name, it says, Je tumhara pada padma nitya dhyana kare, nitya means every day, those who remember your lotus feet, tasavara pradhari amangala hare. Just by their association, all the inauspiciousness in the environment goes far away. Especially when they start chanting and dancing to the tune of the holy name. He says, Padatale khande prithivira amangal. Padatale, the step. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Especially if we go to this Polish Yatra in the Guru Maharajas or this Russian ballet. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It's like such a sweet, dance, so perfectly symmetric. So Padatale, with every step of the foot, Padatale khande prithivira amangal. All the inauspicious of this planet Earth disappears with every step that a devotee keeps by chanting the holy name. And that step also is your step. Your transcendental lotus feet. So, Padatale khande prithivira amangal, drishti matra sarva dik hoye sunirma. And while chanting, wherever the devotees put their glance, all the directions, they become purified. Drishti matra, sarva dik, dik means direction. Hoye sunirma, it becomes completely purified. Bahuduri nachite swargera vidhanash. And in that mode of chanting, when they raise their hand, all the inauspiciousness of the heavenly planets goes away. Hena yasha, hena nritya, hena toradas. That's the power of this dance, that's the power of the holy name, and that's the power of the devotees. Brahmanda tarite shakti dhare dhare dhare. Each of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates had the power to deliver a whole universe. Vasudeva Datta Thakur, he just aspired, so let all the sufferings of the karmic reactions of people come upon me, let me suffer in hell eternally, and let everyone go back to the spiritual world. We may not even dare think about, not to speak of telling the Lord. And if we speak, that means we really don't understand what we are saying. Because if you understand, we just immediately fall unconscious. Krishna can do that, Lord Chaitanya can do it. So that's the power of this holy Nama Kirtan. And then Bhagavad Shravan. Sanatana Goswami writes 5 verses. Someday I think all of you should memorize these 5 verses. It's really worth. Before picking up and reading the Bhagavatam, I will just speak about 2 verses, which is somehow very inspiring to me. The first is, what is this Bhagavatam? Sarva Shastra Abhi Piyusha, Sarva Vedaika Satpada, Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadhya, Sarva Laukika Dhirprada, Sarva Bhagavata Prana, Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu, Kali Dhvanto Dikaditya, Sri Krishna Kalivartita. Sarva Shastra, imagine all the scriptures. Abhi, you put it, make it like an ocean of all the scriptures. And you do Samudra Manthan. When you do Samudra Manthan, the final product that comes is nectar. And that nectar, if you churn all the scriptures of the world, make it an ocean and start churning, but that last nectar that comes out. First, many things will come. But the final product that comes out, Piyusha means nectar, is Srimad Bhagavatam. Can we imagine what is Prabhupada's gift to us at Srimad Bhagavatam? Sarva Shastra Abhi, Piyusha. Sarva Vedaika Satphala. If you compare all the scriptures to a desire tree, the ultimate ripened fruit of that desire tree is Srimad Bhagavatam. Desire tree is what? You sit underneath and ask anything and it gives you. And that's what scriptures are. Vidyarthi lavati vidyam, dhanarthi lavati dhanam, putrarthi lavati putra. What do you want? Do this ritual and you'll get this benefit. Do this yajna and you get this benefit. It's like a desire tree. And the ripened fruit, nigamatalo tataro galitam phalam, the ripened fruit of that tree, which fulfills that desire, which if fulfilled, no other desire remains in the heart. And that is our eternal connection with Krishna. And therefore, Bhagavad offers nothing short of this. That's Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarva Vedaika Satphala. Sarva Siddhanta Ratnam Adhya. Imagine a mine of jewels. Anything you want, the crest jewel of the conclusion of all philosophy is the Srimad Bhagavatam. The perfection of psychology. Understand the psychology of a conditioned soul. Understand the ultimate psychology of a pure devotee. Here is Bhagavatam. The nature of Hiranyakashipu and the nature of Prahlad. So, Sarva Siddhanta Ratna Adhya. You want to know what is the conclusion of politics? Diplomacy. Bhagavad gives you. Purpose of all politics or diplomacy or statesmanship is to govern like a Rajarishi on behalf of the Lord. Any field of knowledge, the conclusion is given by Srimad Bhagavatam. Of all knowledge. So Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadhya. Therefore Srila Prabhupada could argue with anyone and defeat all their illusions and bring them to the conclusion. Whether it was a scientist, a philosopher, a sportsman, or a musician, or a star, whoever. He was fearless going around discussing anything with everyone and giving them the conclusion of their, whatever they were pursuing. Sarva Siddhanta Nadya. Sarva Loka Eka Dhruprada. It gives you the spectacles. Chakshuhu Nilitam Yena. You can actually see the things for what they are and not what you think them to be. Discriminating the reality, Vastava Vastu, from everything that is temporary. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritamaya. Once you wear the spectacle of Bhagavatam and see the world, you can never be bewildered. No question of getting bewildered by anything other than what is to be sought after in everything. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra, Sarvam Chamai Pashyati. Like Prahlad. Wherever he saw Krishna. And Hiranyakashipu, even in Lord Nrsimha, he couldn't see Krishna. The Lord came, he couldn't see Lord in the Lord, what we speak of, sitting in the pillar. So that is the Bhagavatam. Sarva Lokaika Dhruprada. Sarva Bhagavata Prana. It's the life of every devotee. In case you consider yourself a devotee. I generally want to speak about this verse during December marathon to inspire people to buy Bhagavatam and keep it in their home. Even as it is, even if you don't read it, keep it. Someday you will read it. there was one person in Mumbai, he came to know that if he purchases Bhagavatam during December, it will be delivered to his house. And somebody told him, buy Bhagavad, and he had no idea what is Bhagavad. He had no idea how big it is. He thought it's a book, order kar diya. He ordered, get a book for me. And I was supposed to be the delivery boy. So we went in a jeep and there were 2 boxes, 2 cartoon books, like 32 volumes. So we went like that and we knocked on the door, he opened and he went inside and kept it on the table. And he said, we have brought Bhagavatam. Oh, very nice. He thought we have brought for the whole colony and we are keeping it in his house and from there we will distribute. And anyway, so he said, all right, you can distribute from here. I said, no, this is your copy. He said, I want only one. I said, yeah, this is only one. What? 2 big boxes. He said, yeah, and then I removed it and I put 12 cantos, and we said, we will do Aarti for the Bhagavatam for you. And he was participating in the Aarti, and after that, just before, as I was leaving, he said, Prabhuji, can I just talk to you something? And he took me inside the room and he said, Prabhuji, I have 2 questions. Sincerely he was saying. He said, Prabhuji, 32 years back, I read the last book, that was my textbook. When I passed out my 10th standard. After that, I haven't picked a book. So if I read this, do you think in this very lifetime I will not be able to read? And second, in Marathi there is a saying, Purcha part, Macha sapat. Means I turn the page and anything that I read back goes beyond. Delete. So with every page I turn, previous page I forget. So what is the point in keeping this book? I will pay for you, but do you think I will ever read it? And I don't know, I prayed to Krishna, put the right words in my mouth so that he will inspire. So I just told him, I said, Prabhuji, aap ek kaam karo. 3 things you do, that's all. I said, just do it. He said, lift the book every day. I said, it's not weight lifting, don't lift all the whole carpet. He said, lift one book, just pick it up. Can you do that? Haan karega na Prabhuji. Every day just pick up one book. Yes? Okay. Any book, any of this that you do. And I said, second thing, any page, open it. Can you open? Yes. And read one sentence. That's all, and keep it back. That's okay. That is okay, Prabhuji. And I left. I forgot all about it. 3 years later, in some program, he was smiling at me. I didn't know why he was smiling at me. I looked at myself. And then he came to me and he said, do you remember me? And many times people ask and I'm so embarrassed. I don't remember, but I say, yeah, your face looks familiar. I said, no, I know you don't remember me. Then why do you ask? And he said, Prabhuji, I didn't tell you. You came to my house and gave that wholesale Bhagavatam. I said, yeah. He said, do you know something? I used to read it every day. I used to pick up and start reading. But one day I forgot. I felt so bad. That day I decided I'll keep Bhagavatam underneath my pillow. One set, one book I'll keep it. So that if it hurts, then I remember that I have not completed today's reading. And he would keep it under his pillow. And night, before going to sleep, he would just pick it up and start reading. And he said, sometimes, I don't know what happened to me, I started reading 1 page, 2 pages. Sometimes it used to go on and on. My wife used to say, Swadharna, light don't karo, put off the light. So that I put a small light only, focusing on my Bhagavatam. Today I am in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. They started telling what he read in the 3rd canto, what he read in the 2nd canto. I said, wow. So, as it is said, alpa, even a small desire that actually I want to read Bhagavatam. The power of Srimad Bhagavatam, even in one's home, just the potency of that book, which is non-different from Krishna, is so powerful. So, yes, Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavad Shravan and Srimurtira Shraddhaya Seva. Actually, wherever the deities of the Lord are actually worshipped, that place, a deity doesn't actually mean you may have to have installed a deity. Just keeping a picture, because the Lord is absolute. Even keeping a picture, on an altar or on your study table, the Lord reciprocates. And automatically that place becomes fully spiritualized. If with this little desire we just offer our respects, like Prabhupada said, keep these body type dolls. If someone bends down in front of them just to tie their shoelaces, they get the benefit of offering dandavats through Gopinath. And if wherever these four are being done, automatically that place becomes an abode of the Lord. Actually, it's not different from Vrindavan. Vrindavan is not merely a physical place alone. It is also a state of consciousness. When Lord Chaitanya was going through Jharikanda forest and he saw the tigers and the lion, the tigers and the elephants embracing, the deer and the tiger embracing each other, kissing each other in brotherhood, he remembered a verse that Lord Brahma spoke about Vrindavan. Earlier Brahma went to test Sri Krishna. He couldn't see Vrindavan, though he was in Vrindavan, but he couldn't see Vrindavan. But when his false ego was shattered, crushed to powder, then when he woke up, when he raised his head after offering, don't ask me how, he offered all the four heads at the feet of, he touched all the four heads at the feet of Krishna. Maybe he rolled like that. And then when he woke up, he actually saw Vrindavan. Yatra naisarga durvairaha sahasam mridagayaha vitrani vajitavasa dhritaruttarshakadikam. Yatra naisarga durvairaha. There is natural animosity between a dog and a cat and a rat and a mongoose and a snake and a peacock and a snake. Natural. Nobody teaches them who's your enemy. Just keep them. But all of these animals, natural animosity, born with this kind of animosity, Durvaira, Saha Asa, they're all together. Mitrani Eva, as intimate friends. That place is Vrindavan, where all the bodily designations are forgotten and one comes to one's original, eternal, constitutional identity. Jive Swarupa Krishna Nithidas. No. Gopi Bhaktur Padakamayog Das Das Anudas. If that consciousness is maintained, one can actually see Krishna everywhere. And naturally that place turns to Vrindavan. That's what Lord Chaitanya said. Anyara Hridayamana Moramana Vrindavana Mane Vane Ekagari Jani Kaha Tumar Padadvaya Karaha Jadi Udaya Tobe Tumar Purna Kripamani. Everyone's heart is situated in a particular place, but my mind is my heart is my mind. In the mood of Srimati Radharani is telling, Moramana Vrindavan. Mane Vane. In my mind and in Vrindavan, I see no difference. Taha Tamar Padadvaya. If my Lord is speaking to Lord Jagannath, if your lotus feet comes to my heart, Karaho Jodi Udaya, then Tabe Tumar Purna Kripamani, then I know that you have really blessed me. So truly, in these four things, the association of sincere devotees, books of transcendental knowledge headed by Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting of the holy name of the Lord in that sincere association, and worshipping the beautiful form of the Lord, and offering everything, Manasa Deho Geho Joni Chumo, or Pilotva Pade Mandakisho. Then the fifth element, that abode, residing in the abode of the Lord, irrespective of wherever in the universe you reside, even in hell, that hell becomes Vaikuntha. What to speak of any other place. So how merciful is the Lord, knowing the creatures of Kali Yuga, the fallen, misdirected people of this Kali Yuga. The more fallen we are, super merciful the Lord becomes. And that is Lord Chaitanya. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradaya. And so therefore, all these powerful, potent things has been given just in these five elements of sadhana or devotion practice. And I really feel that, coming to Melbourne and seeing especially southeast Melbourne, southeast. Yes, so I really like to thank all of you. I really feel it doesn't make a difference for me where I am. I'm in Vrindavan in the association of such wonderful devotees chanting. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Shravan Mathura Vasa Srimurtira Shraddhaya Seva Sakala Sadhana Sreshtha E Pancha Anga Krishna Prema Janmai E Panchera Alpa Sangha. So all the best in pursuing these five ingredients and achieving Krishna Prema. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nithai Gaur Premanandi. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much. So the question is, in the verse it says Shraddhaya Sevana. So the question is coming like, what if the Shraddha, someone doesn't have Shraddha and still does the service? So how does it work? Like whether they will develop the Shraddha later or, and we hear about Ananta Sukriti, so how it goes together?
Hare Krishna. Okay, so what if we, the question, what if we do not have the Shraddha? If a person is coming to the association of devotees, or especially beginning to serve the deities, there is some Shraddha there, because we begin with some faith. There may be some doubts also, but there will be some beginning faith. But with whatever faith we have, if we begin the process itself generates faith. So the process will generate the faith, it will solidify faith, and it will increase our absorption in the process, and we'll be able to advance. So therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita will also describe Shraddhavan Jan hai Bhakti Adhikari. Shraddhavan Jan, a person has faith, is Bhakti Adhikari, the right recipient. Kanishta Madhyam Uttam Shraddha Anusari. A beginner devotee, a person who is slightly advanced, Madhyam, and most advanced, Uttam, is also Shraddha Anusari. So the Shraddha helps us advance in Krishna consciousness. So we begin with little Shraddha and the process will help us go further.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Also, it is like fire. The process of Krishna consciousness, anything connected with Krishna, whether it is prasad, holy name, deities, his message, being absolute is not different from Krishna. And just like fire, Prabhupada gave the example. Somebody touches fire jokingly, somebody touches fire unknowingly, a child touches the fire, an old man, a knowledgeable person, an ignorant fool. Whoever touches the fire has only one action. It doesn't discriminate. It burns. Similarly, Krishna and all his paraphernalia, name, form, quality, pastimes, abode, message, everything about him, including his devotees, are in one sense, even the devotee, not different from Krishna. And in that association, one thing happens invariably, and that is purification. Paramam Pavitra. Pavitra Paramam Bhava. Lord is supremely pure. And in relation with him, however one comes, the only action that happens is purification. And by purification, actually Shraddha is the seed. And when it fructifies, that is the prema. Sadhu Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan, like that. So, if the fact that they are in the association, it will enhance in due course.
Thanks for sharing the 5 processes which one should follow to become a devotee. My question is, this is like these are the do's, but what are the top 3 things one should not do to ensure the faith is not diminished? Yeah, and then so what are the top 3 things in your experience which can suggest a devotee should not do, so that faith is not diminished? And if there are any do's apart from these 5 processes, are there any other thing which we can do to keep on building that faith?
Actually, there is only one do and there is only one don't. All other do's and don'ts are subordinate to this one. And that one thing is, remember Krishna always and never forget Krishna. Sadatam, Smartavya Sadatam Vishnu, Vismartavya Vajatuja. Sarve Vidhinishri Yastyu Etayorev Kinka. They are the subordinate principles. Everything. All do's are subordinate to the one do. Remember Krishna always. And all don'ts are subordinate to this principle of don't forget. So essentially what makes us forget Krishna is turning away, forgetting him, and turning towards him, remembering him, is actually the do's. Something that is extremely, one should be careful about, is offense to the devotees, because it makes you forget for a long time. So, that one should be kind of try to be careful about. Other things, just follow.
Thanks. But in this material world, right? So even means sometimes the doubts arises, and then at least myself, right? So I'm talking about myself. Yeah. So we do. I do chanting, but sometimes the doubt arises, right? Is the God really there? Yeah, so how to how to avoid those doubts, how to make sure that the belief goes more firmer and firmer. So what should not I think or what should not I do to ensure that faith doesn't diminish? That's the point, because the world is full of material, this is material world, right? People believe easily in what they see, right? So how can I ensure that my faith, whatever level it is today, 30%, 40, 50%, it goes up and up from there, but doesn't diminish.
Actually, we were discussing, like all the 10 offenses to the holy name conduct, we recite every day. The common thing amongst all these 10 is thinking spiritual things to be mundane and material. That's the essence. Thinking Guru to be an ordinary person, thinking scriptures to be an ordinary instruction, thinking the deity of the Lord to be, a piece of stone, thinking the abode of the Lord, Dham, to be an ordinary piece of land in some country. So, thinking something spiritual, which is Satchidananda, to be mundane and material, that's the thing we should be a little careful about. Therefore, all these spiritual ingredients, anything in relationship with the Lord, must be, that's why Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness, to be conscious of these things. That's the whole idea. How can we remember, or how can we increase, enhance our consciousness of things that are apparently looking mundane and material, but they are actually spiritual. And the amazing thing is, truly speaking, this whole creation, being non-different from the Lord, is fully spiritual. The same flower, right? If a man thinks about his girlfriend and picks up a flower from the garden, the same flower, this flower becomes a mundane stuff. But Patram Pushpam Bhagantoyam, you think, oh, I can offer this to Krishna. This becomes spiritual. It is a facility to take you back home, back to Godhead. Or this is the same facility which can take you away from the Lord. So our body, it can be used in the service of the Lord, it can be used for mundane sense gratification. Whatever we have, our mind, Mana, we can use it in the name of Krishna, make it spiritual, turn away and make it mundane and material. So it's a question it's not a question about thing, it's about consciousness. So we revive our Krishna consciousness, then we can utilize everything in Krishna's service. In and of itself, nothing is bad or good. It's a question of our consciousness and our utilization of those objects, those people, those circumstances in Krishna's service. That we should be cautious and careful about. If we can remember that, and that's our effort. Sadhana is that, make an effort. Initially it's an effort. I'll just share with you one thing. I was reading one presentation on habit. What is a bad habit and what is a good habit? He said there are 4 steps to turn a bad habit to a good habit. He said bad habit is unconscious incompetence. You're doing something wrong and you're not conscious of it. So a bad habit means unconscious incompetence. Then you are educated. Then you become conscious of your incompetence. Then there is training. Through training, you consciously become competent. Till a point comes when it becomes your nature. You are unconsciously competent. It becomes your second nature. So it's a education, training, sadhana bhakti, and then it becomes, raga. Very spontaneous, natural inclination. Our original nature is revived from the artificial, superimposed, thing, forgetfulness. So that's the whole process.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. So, in the interest of time, we will have to stop here. Prabhu's have to actually give a class tomorrow and today as well in the temple too as well. So, we'd like to thank you once again. We'll say Hari Bol 3 times very loudly. Hari Bol! Hari Bol!